My name is Yogi Akal, and this is Beta. He's a black lab, and he's been with the dog therapy program for St. John Ambulance since 2011. I wanted to share with you some of the memorable moments we've both experienced while Beta served as a volunteer for St. John Ambulance. One of the first things that I recall is working in a long-term care facility. And in that facility, there were people on each floor that represented a different level of care. One level was medium care, another was longer-term care. Top floor were people who needed the most care, often people with Alzheimer's. And they were Beta's favorite people. Every time he would go to the top floor, which is where we would begin, he would always zero in on the people who seemed to be, well, the most unusual. And they would always remember him. But I think the most memorable moment in the long-term care facility was when we came across the staff who, once they became used to us, would refer people. They would say, you know, we've had somebody today who is very sad. Their wife just died, and they're elderly, and they're in shock, and could you please go in there? And we would, and Beta would just go in and lie down next to the person or sit with the person, and they would gradually come back into the now, and they would perk up a little bit. I remember in one circumstance there was a woman who'd been crying all morning. She just had become very emotional, and as we were walking through the hallway, one of the nurses called us in and said, "Please, come in, come in." And we did, and he just sat there with her until she calmed down. Recently, Beta had the pleasure of attending an open house for the police. We had the pleasure of touring the entire police station, but also manning a table so that people could ask questions about the community events such as St. John Ambulance program and the dog therapy program. Many children came through the police station that day, and one of them was memorable because he came up to me and said, "How old is your dog?" And I said, "He's 7.5. And he said, "I am 7.5. Well, they made instant friends, and the whole rest of the day, that little boy kept bringing by his friends and saying, "Look, look, he's a therapy dog. Look, he's 7.5, he's a therapy dog." He became quite the star for that age group. Another memorable moment came when we were volunteering at a hospice in our area. Now, the staff were very busy, as you can imagine, and the patients, well, mostly were not conscious, but the family members were very appreciative. In one case, I remember they made such a fuss over Beta being there, they just wanted someone to talk to. And they did. They spent the whole morning with Beta. And he was just very patiently, he put his head up on the bed where their dying mother was breathing her last breaths, and they just talked to him and got comfort from him. These are memorable moments that are so simple and seem so small, and they're so easy for him, but they have such an effect. Thank you, Beta.